Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing Season 5. We are back with race number 12 and I see the trash talk is already starting in the comments. Iceman claiming to take the lead. We're saying otherwise. And hello Andrew. I am well. Hope you're well too. Hope everyone's doing great. So we're here with Marble GP USA. Bold statement by Iceman saying that it's time to take the lead in the standings when it is Iceman's own track up first in this stream. Because historically, Iceman's had a terrible time on their own tracks. Yeah, I think you should take it back. Iceman is definitely cursed when it comes to the tracks they've created. Demon, yeah, you've been missing quite a bit. You are currently in 16th, not doing too well. Similar performance to last season. I think it's because you don't watch enough. So you look at the top of the standings, got some more regular viewers. You know, you're just not enough support there. So 16th, unfortunately. But, you know, there's still time. We are approaching the halfway point soon. We're nearly there, but there's still plenty of points to be picked up and a chance to get in a shot of that prize pool, the top 3. But currently, Azur is leading, been hanging on for a while, but Iceman not far behind. But again, we'll see what happens on this first track. Could be a tricky one. And then after this race, we have Total Extermination, which, as everyone knows, is just pure chaos. We'll see how long that race lasts. And then Superboss currently in 3rd. So let's head over to the track. So it has been updated since we last visited this track, Marble GP USA. As you can see, we've got some vehicles on the road. Just some extra things to avoid. And I'm sure Iceman can talk through any other changes as well. I think most of the rest is pretty much the same. I think it's mainly the road section that has had improvements made. On the ladders, we'll have a look around in just a second. We'll do the predictions first. So let's start a prediction. How many races would DNF? 2 minutes to get those predictions in. And let's see, so into the first corner, it's a sharp hairpin. Be interesting seeing everyone pile into that and go around to a sweeping bend that opens up onto the Route 66 with the new vehicles, the new and improved Route 66. So probably see a bit more chaos down here trying to avoid the traffic. Sharp turn and to this chunky ladder. Going up there. Straight up to another hairpin and through the sand around the sweeping bends, dropping down into the water, and then yes, we have a change here. So there's a ladder entry. You know, I feel like Iceman kept a little bit of ladder there just to get the edge over Boer. We know Boer struggles historically with ladders. Maybe a bit of a tactical play there in map design. But yes, we now have straight walls that will carry you up instead. And then into the pinball section, get bounced around, can lose a lot of time in there. And again, of course, another little ladder going into the uphill wall. And then sweeping round through the rocky section, through the winding turns. Out the other side. And yes, another little ladder into an uphill. Through the Big Apple, or under the Big Apple. Lots of winding turns, lots of sharp turns on this track. And then it opens up a bit towards the end, final hairpin before a little chicane. Under here, I don't remember if these struts were there before. I want to say they're new, either that or I just never really registered them. But then back down to the start finish. The ending is new. I thought it was different. I thought there was something different about the ending. it just spotted it when I loaded the map, but I was like, something looks different there. So yeah, some changes. So we're going to see how it goes. You rigged it. We'll have to see. Have to see if this helps Iceman at all. We'll find out in this race. So let's load all the competitors in. Up at the front, Superboss, Jimmy, Snorker, and Fluids, and on the back row were Azure, Shady, and Eggbot. 3 laps around the track. Quite a long track. So let's get the countdown started. And the lights are green and they are off into the first corner. Into the hairpin. Big pile up there. And Stardust is going to come out in front. 3 laps in true Mario Kart fashion. So I put things a little bit too slow around that section. But going out onto the road now. Stardust has a decent lead, but there's lots of traffic to be avoided here. And they're hitting the side of the vehicles. Going to slow down. Pesky Bird and Demon having to avoid the black car. Stardust just hanging on. Pesky Bird going left and right down this road. So bumpy. It's always been bumpy, this road. It's always had an issue with bumps. The road maintenance clearly isn't too great here. Yeah, American road quality. So quite a slowdown on the corners. Everyone has to tuck in and around the yellow vehicle. And Stardust just staying in front of Demon. And all going around to the outside. There's not a vehicle here, but there is a obstruction wall. Interesting. So Stardust up at the front. Demon and Jimmy tied for second right now on the ladder. Then Eggbot and Snorker side by side. Yeah, it is a bit like that area. No one will have a clue what that's on about, but there is an area in the city that we reside that is nicknamed Fatty Island. And it's had a few resurfaces. It's quite chaotic around there. And there's an absolutely awful lane going into where all the fast food places are, which is why it's called Fatty Island. It's just loads of fast food places and then a road going all the way around it. Just off a main road. And yeah, the potholes in that place get pretty crazy sometimes. And it took them ages to do anything about it. Oh, the road piece. It's the actual one from in the game. Is that why it's so bumpy? Guess it's easier than going through with a doing a full resurface of stretching blocks and road pieces and then adding the stripes in and everything. So Demon leading now. Stardust has dropped to 3rd behind Eggbot. She's up to 4th. Alfonso 5th. Superboss 6th. Weep 7th. Fluids 8th. Snorker 9th. And Jimmy 10th right now. Iceman in true Iceman fashion. Curse kicking in early. Currently in 14th. Everyone just single filing. Oh, good entry to the ladder there by Boer. What a surprise. Didn't expect that one. And is going to pay off cutting in front of Superboss and going to block Superboss there. Losing some time, meaning Flues can gain. And then going into the hairpins. Eggbot actually chasing Demon down up at the front. And Moo and Pesky Bird trailing behind a bit. Iceman must have heard what I was saying. Has pushed up to 11th. There is no jinxing. There is never any jinxing. Yeah, you can't prove it. So we might have quite the battle going on here up at the front. Some contact there, slowing Eggbot down. His Demon's going to try and extend that lead. Try and pull away as we go on to lap 2. Little group up here. Going slowly down the straight before picking up speed across the line. And we're up to 6th, just behind Cheese. Azure going to the side of Wheat. Shady with a bit of a rough bounce there. Moo with a really good line going to gain on Shady. And decent line by Pescabird as well, trying to make back some time. But onto the road. Could be interesting, can lose some time down here. Stardust has a good line down the middle. But does make contact with the car. Boer's got a pretty decent line. Has made it past Cheese. Might be able to get past Stardust here. Stardust collides with the vehicle. No, not quite quick enough. Well, there's a bump there between Stardust and Alfonso, pushing Alfonso into the car. Alfonso comes back across. I think there's a side swipe on Stardust there. But Boer makes it past. So the two balls of steel, Stardust and Boer, are side by side right now. 3rd and 4th. Contact between Alfonso and Cheese. Cheese makes it past. And Boer, there's a bounce there. Boer did get past Stardust, but Stardust taking that position straight back on the ladder. Boer not getting the cleanest of entries. Flute's having some trouble further down, getting on the ladder. And Superboss now down to 15th. Up at the top. Demon really pulling away, making a gap. Eggbot running really slow. Boer's going to shoot around the outside, go up into 2nd. A lot of speed there by Boer on the release. Just giving Demon loads of time to break away. Absolutely no jinxing going on here as we are about halfway through the race. Oh, it's a rough bounce by Boer. Egbot's going to get a bit more speed on the exit. I don't think it's enough though. And a bad drop down by Eggbot. Actually going to lose a couple of places. In fact, make that more than a couple of places. Terrible by Eggbot there. Going to see Cheese move up, see what happens to the pinball area. Boer might have a good line here. Alfonso's stuck. Might have to bring the Fs out in the chat for Alfonso here. Yeah, Alfonso is... Oh, Iceman as well. The curse is real. So Fs in the chat for Iceman and Alfonso. The curse is real. But look at this gap up at the front. Boer's going to have some work to do to try and chase Demon down here. And we have Jimmy in 3rd, Snorket in 4th, Stardust now in 5th, and Weep just behind in 6th. And that was a bad ladder entry by Boer. Going to drop 3 positions. The old habits starting to come back. But good passing on the tight corners there. We'll get back in front of Stardust. Now has to try and get back in front of Jimmy and Snorker. Big hit off the wall there. Bit of a pile-up pushing Boer back. Fludes with a bad hit off the wall as well. So there's the battle going on here. Snorker, Weep, Jimmy and Boer. And I see the Hydrate as well. Gotta stay hydrated. After a good start, Eggbot is currently in 10th. Falling back a bit. Oh, Boer really getting slowed down here. We've got the Balls of Steel in a line of 3 going onto the final lap. Demon still holding the fastest lap to try and pick up an extra point. Going into the hairpin, we've got to try and avoid this tree. See what's going on. Bit of a collision between Azert and Shady, and Pesky Bird still trailing behind, just going slow and steady. Onto the road. Still quite a battle going on. Flute's got some good pace, gaining on Jimmy. Moo managing to pass Boer. Cheese might have a good line here as well, very central. Could be a huge play. Gets past Snork, has a bit of an inside line. Not quite enough to gain any more positions though. Big collision there between Fludes and Wheat. Fludes pushing Wheat back with a bit of a tactical play almost to get Boer past. But Moo with some good pace will get past Fludes. But Fludes going to fight back. Doesn't quite make it on with them, so Boer and Moo will be side by side. Fludes and Wheat will be side by side. Balls of Steel putting up quite the fight in this race. But up at the front, we'll see what's going on with Demon here for a bit. All this open space. Demon just cruising along. Zero pressure. We could see Iceman and Alfonso get released on this lap. They will be a lap down and will most likely DNF from it. See if anyone else gets stuck here, if everyone makes it through. Demon with a really good line. Very tactical play. Couldn't have really done much better there. Demon just showing how it's done into the pinball section. Iceman's been set free. That was either by Alfonso or their teammate Jimmy. It would have been Jimmy, sorry. Alfonso was the other one that was stuck. Also set free. So Jimmy setting Iceman and Alfonso free there. Not the best tactic for the teammate. Iceman probably would have preferred Alfonso to stay stuck. And onto the next section. Follow them into the rocks. Twisting turns. Jimmy in second, Moo in third. Moo doing quite well considering a bit of a rough start on the first lap. Yep, they'll both be an entire lap behind. Bit of a hit off the wall there for Iceman. Just letting Moo and Wheat pass. And we're getting blocked by Superbus, but it's not enough. They will end up side by side. Let's head over as we go through the final section to Demon up at the front. Still a big gap. Jimmy still has Alfonso in front to deal with. So coming around the final turns, this could be the turnaround for Demon in the season. It's been rough so far. But it shows the stream that you make it to. It looks like you're going to take the win. And there we go, Demon crossing the line in first and holding that fastest lap from the first lap. Very strong race, just a dominant performance all the way through. Jimmy's going to take second and will actually steal the fastest lap just to squeeze out an extra point. Moo third, Wheat fourth, quite close together now. Very close here between Boer and Fludes, but Boer just passing Fludes before the end, taking fifth, Fludes sixth. Very close here. Bit of a photo finish. Cheese seventh, Eggbot eighth, Superbus ninth, Stardust 10th. And Pesky Bird taking it slow and steady, actually paying off a bit, managing to at least get up to 11th. Azure 12th, Snorker 13th, Shady 14th. And it looks like it will most likely be Alfonso 15th, Iceman 16th, unless they swap around before the 60-second DNF timer finishes. So I'm going to speed things up a bit here. Green Slushy's having quite the bad one this time around. Eternal Darkness, great performance first and third. Balls of Steel, a pretty good performance as well. Yeah, Green Slushies and Azur, who's really trying to hang on to that lead in the standings. This might be where it changes. With not a great finish, but Iceman as well. Was hoping to try and take that top spot, but not working out either. But our winning marble cam, Demon. So congratulations to Demon on the race win. Great performance. Pretty unstoppable around this track this time around. 10-second gap from first to second. No one could catch up with Demon. And 2 DNFs. You think Fluids and you are tied in the standings? We'll have to see. Yeah, it wasn't great for the top 3. This could really close the gaps across the board. So first things first, prediction outcome. Choose outcome 2 to 5. And who got it right? Looks like we had 2 people that got it right there. It's always hard to see this. Oh, there we go. I can expand it. We did. We had 2 people get it right. Demon and Iceman both getting the prediction right. So well done to you 2 on the correct predictions on the first race. And now I'm going to go put the results over onto the leaderboard. I'll be back in just a minute with the updated standings. We'll see just how close the standings are going to be after that race. Alright, the results have been entered, so let's head over to the standings. So after that race, because the top 3 all didn't do too well, Azur does keep hold of that lead. 257 points, still in first, just hanging on. Superboss in second now, 240. We're moving into the top 3 and third at 239. Iceman in fourth, tied with Fluids, 237. Moo in sixth with 228. Stardust in seventh with 222. Snorker in eighth with 221. Jimmy in ninth with 210. And Peskybird in 10th with 207. Below that we have Cheese, Weep, Eggbot, Shady, Demon moving out of that 16th position, and Alfonso now taking that 16th spot. So Snorker's been dropping a bit. A good start to the season, and now dropping positions in 8th is going to really have to turn things around to start making a comeback. And Demon moving out of the last position. Maybe it's comeback time. We'll have to see. But Azur still holding on. Still holding on. And Balls of Steel with a good performance in that race. Number 1 in the team standings. Still holding strong. 233 points. Icebreaker second. Tied with Tutti Frutti with 219. The Snowballs in 4th with 213. The Ultraviolets in 5th with 208. And that's the Doge Balls, the Marble Minions, Eternal Darkness, Grandmasters, and Green Slushies. Eternal Darkness, although getting first and third, only going to move up to 8th, as they've had a bit of a rough start to the season. Not being able to pick up too many points across the team. But that is it for this first race. Of course, for those watching on Twitch, there is a second race coming up, so make sure you don't go anywhere, as it's going to be total extermination, and you know that's just going to be pure chaos, so you don't want to miss out on that. But for those watching on YouTube, you should definitely head over to the Twitch and be able to watch live. You get 2 races in one, and you don't have to wait until they get uploaded, which is usually a week, maybe even 2 behind, depending on when I get around to editing and uploading. That's going to do it for this one for those watching on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.